Hey Nathan, you know what R.I.P stands for?
Rest in parts.
Yes, rest in peace. And today we're doing, well, the cars that are going away at the end of this year. Basically our annual so long farewell and in some cases good riddance. So let's cut right to it. But before we do that, we've got 2 more days of selling TFL t-shirts.
That's right, guys. You got to get them now because the whole thing stops in 2 days.
So if you want one of our classic tees, click up there. And that's your last chance for your holiday t-shirts, and then it won't go away, well, probably for at least another half year or more.
Yeah, possibly. Hey, let's get right to it.
Yep.
All right, number 10, the Dodge Viper, or the Dodge SRT Viper.
Yeah, and we're also going to tell you why we think that it went away. And that one is, in my opinion, an interesting one, because I had a love-hate relationship with that car. I kind of loved what it stood for, but hated the way I fit in it. All right, guys, 0 to 60, real world testing. Now, the Viper has launch control, but it's wet, and the Chrysler guy said not to do it in the wet. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Keep in mind, there's 2 of us in the car. We are at sea level. Here we go. I'm just going to launch it. Oh, a lot of wheel spin. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's 60. And that was the first time I've done that. 5.09. 5.09. That was just an impromptu 0 to 60 run. This car will go much faster, I'm sure of it, because first of all, there's 2 of us in here, and secondly, that was the first time I've done that. Now imagine if I was able to use the launch control, what that could do. It would be substantially faster.
Oh, you love to hate it, too.
I did love to hate it.
Yeah, you were really, and you pointed and yelled at it.
You know, the biggest problem with that was they didn't have a lot of money to develop it. And so they spend a lot of money on, let's say, style, on those Ferrari source seats, but they didn't have something that was crucial in that demographic, and that was an automatic transmission.
I disagree with Roman. I think that the reason it's gone is one word, Corvette. I think that it just did not have the ability to compete with that vehicle financially or competitively on the track.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting car. It certainly represented the raw, visceral energy that a lot of people wanted, but it just didn't have the speed. And it wasn't until they figured it out with the ACR, right, where they set a lot of track records, that they actually figured out that that's what the thing should be.
Absolutely agree. Now, speaking of visceral, this one isn't.
No,
number 9.
No, it's not. What is it, Nathan?
It's the Cadillac Elr, a vehicle he loves.
The interior of the ELR is absolutely gorgeous. Just a really unique blend of wood, fiber accent, chrome, and leather. They've taken a lot of time and put a lot of effort into making this a really nice place to be. That is, as long as you're in the front seats. There are 4 seats in this car, but the back seats are best left for groceries or little kids. Yeah, I actually like that car a lot. It's a rebranded Volt. It's the Volt of Cadillacs.
It is, and that's really the main reason why it's going away, because, dude, $75,000.
But they lowered the price to $65,000.
Oh! Look, guys, come on. I mean, at least make it faster, you know, or make it have a fake engine noises, but no, none of that. It's a good-looking car, I admit, but it just didn't have what it needed to compete.
I think that's going to be a collectible classic because it didn't sell, it was sexy, and it was pretty cutting edge at the time. It was too expensive, granted, but in like this cherry apple red, beautiful car.
So was the Edsel. Okay, let's move on. Number 8, the Scion Tc. Now, for those of you who are wondering, yes, of course Scion is going away, but that's a lot of the Scion vehicles did move over to Toyota and are still being made. But the Scion Tc is going away, primarily because it's a really old design.
All right, let's move on. Number 7, of course, Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
Yes.
2 words.
Mustang and Camaro.
Yes, a rear-wheel drive Hyundai with not enough power to compete with a Camaro or a Mustang.
Especially the new ones.
Yeah, in a world that's dominated by Camaro and Mustang. Now, I've been fortunate enough to have 4 people in this car, and I can tell you from experience that it's rather tight back here. Let me demonstrate. It's, you know what? That's what interns are for. Kyle, your job. Jump in the back. Show them how you fit.
Oh, sorry, Kyle. It's okay. As Kyle's doing this, I gotta say, folks, it is a sports car, so you're not gonna get a lot of space in the back. Oh, he looks comfy. Kyle, how tall are you?
About 6'2".
Are you comfy, Kyle? How's that?
My head's hitting the glass.
How about your knees? Are they comfy?
Right now, but if you got in your seat.
Yeah, let me get in my seat here. Let's show them how comfy this is.
There goes the intern. I hear snapping bones.
Look, I get to drive the car like my grandma.
Yeah, now whether or not it comes back as a regular Genesis in the new Genesis brand remains to be seen. I'm hearing rumors that ain't nothing being done. And then on the other side of it, some people say, yeah, there's going to be a V8 rear drive coupe coming out. We'll see what happens.
Oh, got a little bit of wheel spin there, a little bit of a bog. There's the power. There's 5,000, and here comes 60. Not bad at all. 7.40. Number 6 is a twofer.
Yeah.
The Dodge Dart and the Chrysler 200. Let's take them one at a time. What do you think about the Dart? Why?
Well, I actually liked the Dart, unlike you. And one of the reasons I liked it is because it had a lot of content for the price. It was a fairly big car, despite the fact that it really did compete in a small bracket. But there were a few problems with it.
I was really expecting a Giulietta, and instead, style-wise, I get what could best be described as a miniature Charger, Challenger, Magnum, you name it.
But that's cool. The way I look at it, this car really does carry on the family resemblance from the beautiful nose all the way to the badass looking tail. But here's the thing, in terms of the Giulietta, if you really like that Italian shape, this ain't it.
Yeah, namely that it was promised to be an Alfa Romeo version, right, the Giulietta. And when they brought it out, they said this is going to be like an Alfa Romeo. We've taken Alfa Romeo DNA, and basically they took a car, built it in Belvedere, Illinois, and created an economy American car out of what was supposed to be a beautiful Italian beauty, and it just hurt my soul. The only cool thing about it was that kind of hidden compartment underneath the passenger seat where you could hide your gun.
There are other things too. The 1.4 liter turbo matched with the 6-speed manual transmission was some fairly fun little car. And you know, right now they are super duper cheap, and once again you do get a lot of content for the vehicle.
So the question, of course, my friend, is,
Oh, yeah. All right, do I fit?
does Nathan fit?
I'm going to show you, but we're going to do it a little different this time because this is surprisingly roomy. Yep. I fit. You can put a golf bag in here with me, baby.
Unfortunately, my issue with the vehicle is very similar to the 200, and that is backseat room is compromised when it comes to headroom.
Yeah, the 200 was actually a very good car, you know, but it's in that mid-size sedan. That is the most competitive segment in the automotive world, except for maybe trucks. And if you're going to once again compete in that segment, you got to bring it, man. And so, like, the best-looking car is obviously the Fusion or maybe the Mazda 6. The most fuel efficient is the Honda Accord.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive, you can get that in Fusion, right? There's nothing unique. Most leg room in the back is, of course, the Passat. There's nothing unique about that car that would make you want to buy it.
It had the little dial that you could spin so you could put it in different gears. That's about it.
Jaguar has that.
Okay, moving on. There's not much else we can say. It's unfortunate because they got so much right, but they also got a lot wrong.
This one has been in a lot of our lists, dude.
Oh, God, yes. Now, we're not jumping on Honda for building the CRZ. However, it was a missed opportunity. No matter what you guys say, you have to admit that it's a car that looks faster than it was.
Yeah, it never cashed that looks check.
No,
the performance wasn't there, and it shouldn't have been a hybrid. And no, let's just go to number 4.
Number 4, the Volkswagen GTI 3-door.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Everybody wants the 5-door.
Pretty much, it's a question of sales. They simply can't sell enough of them, and that's the bottom line. But the 5-door is a great buy. We still think it's one of the best hot hatches out there.
Yeah, why would you want to try to crawl in through the front doors when you can get in through the back doors?
There you go. That works on so many levels. Okay,
right,
let's move on. Okay, now this one is interesting. We did have an opportunity to drive this on our track and off-road, and that is the Subaru Crosstrek Xv.
Was that when they were still giving us cars?
that was back in the old days when we actually got Subarus. And you know what the funny thing is? It was great off-road. It did a really good job. But there was one real issue with it. You had to pay a $3,000 premium to get the hybrid.
To get 3 MPG in the city.
To get an extra 3 MPG in the city. Highway was about the same. And the bottom line is that with the extra weight and everything else, it just didn't make a lot of sense. And it's a lot of extra money considering where that car is in terms of its bracket.
Yeah, it's also got the dubious distinction of being the only car which we could actually not test 0 to 60 because we ran out of track before we ran out of...
Yeah, our straightaway on our test track
It's
meant
like-
that it just was too difficult for the car. But part of it has to do with being at high elevation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so
it wasn't long enough. It wouldn't get up to 60 before we ran out of track,
Yeah.
dude. It's that slow. I think it was like in the 13 seconds when we gave up.
I don't know if I'm going to make it before the end of the... I didn't make it. I couldn't. I couldn't get to 60 before the straightaway ended. That's a first. So it was actually pretty decent though in the snow and in the mud. And
You really want more Subarus, don't you?
well, this is Colorado. Go figure. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, number 2, the Jeep Patriot. And there's a very simple reason why that's discontinued.
Yeah, the Compass.
Yeah, the new Compass. What the Compass is it's replacing the old Compass and the Patriot, which basically are the same vehicle, with this all-new vehicle. And by doing that, they're able to finally get that out of the mix, even though they're still selling them like hotcakes.
And by the way, this list doesn't include cars that are being replaced by another version of it, like the Lincoln MKS, which is becoming the
Continental, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just including cars, for the most part, that are going away.
That's correct.
All right, and number 1, Nathan.
Okay, it is all Volkswagen TDI. Pretty much if it has TDI on it, it is no longer being sold in North America.
Yeah, that's obvious. They've gone to a complete electrification strategy, so all their diesel engine vehicles are now bye-bye.
Come on. But this is the crazy part.
Yes, the bonus.
The bonus. Now, see, he just mentioned they're electrified. They are supposed to be doing hybrids as well. Well, they did have a hybrid, but it's gone.
Yeah, the Jetta Hybrid, which is actually a sports hybrid, and I test drove it, and I liked it a lot. It was fuel efficient, it was fun, it was fast, and maybe it didn't sell.
Yeah.
And why, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, but I mean, I would imagine you'd want to keep it in your rotation nonetheless, deal with the slow sales until you start bringing out electrified vehicles, and then you already have a foothold in that market. But apparently the Jetta Hybrid is going bye-bye.
Yeah, and my guess is that hybrid was kind of a mild hybrid, right? It wasn't like a Prius hybrid, so it didn't get that much better fuel economy, so maybe that now they're going to concentrate on like the e-Golf, which, gets really good MPG.
We'll see.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, if you want a t-shirt, click above or below, because it's the last 2 days. And actually today there's a really good video that you and Andre did. What did you guys do?
Well, we did mid-size towing versus half-ton towing. A lot of you guys have been asking for it, and we went and did that. We used the Chevy Colorado diesel, and we used the Ford Raptor. And here's the cool part. There's a lot of videos showing exactly what happens when you tow those two different vehicles with the same load.
Cool. So if you're wondering which one you should buy to tow, we've got the answer for you over at TFL Truck. As always, this is Roman
And Nathan.
saying thanks for watching, and check out TFLcar.com for more news, views,
And real-world reviews.
ciao.